up to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, Torrey Horton back to the end zone.
48-yard play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Down so far, a little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty, give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to fit it in. Ruddles, it does. Ruddles stays up. The Suns offense 4-3 wins. Incredible effort for Ruddles.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live. We are excited to bring you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Luke. I'm joined by my co-host, Justice. We're only 6 subscribers away from 500 on YouTube. So if you're watching us on X, which I see a lot of you are, head over to YouTube, hit a sub there. We would appreciate it. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, a retweet. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. Don't forget, the G5 Hive merchandise store is now live. Link in the YouTube comments as well as pinned on our X page and here at the bottom of the screen.
Again, these rankings are before I didn't get a chance to update these. Because Boise State's number 10, and I think UNLV's number 19 now. But this is the game, man. This is the game. This is the G5 game. If you want to see which team is going to make the college football playoff, it's going to be the winner of this game. There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind. The winner of this game makes it to the college football playoff. The game is at Boise State. This game is Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Be sure to tune in. Can't miss TV. This is probably, of all the games, this is the one I'm most excited for. These two teams played each other in the regular season. Boise State won that game. And a big reason why Boise State won that game was their pass rush. UNLV had no answer for that Boise State pass rush. So I'm excited to kind of see what adjustments, what they learned from that game, and how they can handle that Boise State pass rush this time around. What do we have for injuries in this game, Luke?
UNLV, no key injuries. They're pretty much at full strength. Boise State, they get back their starting center in Mason Randolph and their right guard, Roger Carrion. Randolph was injured in the first game of the season versus Georgia Southern, returned this past weekend versus Oregon State. He was on limited snaps, but Boise State isn't sure if he'll be on a snap limit here for UNLV. Carrion was injured in week 2 against Oregon, and he made his return. He made his return before the last game there at Wyoming. So having those two back will be big. 6-year safety, Alexander Tubner. Tubner?
Yep.
He typically wears the green dot for the defense. He's been out since picking up an injury in the Nevada game. He was on the field in practice. Was it today? I think it was today he was out there at practice. Said it's going to be close if he's going to be out there or not. So the Boise State's getting healthy, getting the guy who wears the green dot on defense back. That could be huge. Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship saying if he'll be out there or not. But overall, 2 healthy teams. At this point, when you don't have any big key injuries, this should be a fun game.
And that's Tubner. That's going to be big, I think, because he had a phenomenal game against UNLV the first time around. In fact, he was my defensive player of the week that week. he had several sacks. He led them. He had a lot of tackles. He just played an outstanding game against UNLV the first time around. So if he's not able to go, that could have a big impact on this game. Players to know. When Boise State has the ball, it starts with one man. In our opinion, the guy that should win the Heisman, and that's running back Ashton Jeanty.
Oh, Ashton Jeanty. Okay, never heard of him.
Ashton Jeanty, just a phenomenal talent at Boise State. He it's like an average game for him is like 200 yards rushing. He gets 200 yards like everyone else gets 100 yards. But yeah, it all starts with him. He, phenomenal pass catcher. As I said earlier in the show, they haven't used him as much as they have in years past. But he is an excellent pass catcher. There's times when he just puts the Boise State offense on his back and says, "Follow me, boys." Quarterback Maddox Madsen. He's had some up and down games. He's had games where he's played phenomenal. He's had games where he's not played so great. He had a pretty good game the first time around against UNLV. His top targets are wide receiver Cam Camper and tight end Matt Lauder. Those are the kind of guys. Matt Lauder was really big in the last game. He was targeted heavily in the red zone when they played UNLV before. So we'll kind of see what adjustments UNLV makes this time around. When the Boise State has the ball and UNLV is on defense, UNLV is led by their, potential All-American, maybe even Mountain West Player of the Year and linebacker Jackson Woodard. A phenomenal talent. Had a great season week a couple times this year. To look for Jackson Woodard to kind of lead that defense. They also have defensive end Antonio Doyle Jr. He's kind of the man along that defensive line, causing the havoc, getting pressure on the quarterback. And then they have two phenomenal safeties. And they've had phenomenal years, both in coverage and in run support. Number one is Jalen Catalon. If you're not familiar with Jalen Catalon, he was a freshman All-American at Arkansas. He's transferred, he bounced around a couple times, had some injuries. He was most recently at Texas before coming to UNLV. But he's finally been healthy this year. And he's having another phenomenal year, just like he did his freshman year at Arkansas. Great to see that from Jalen Catalon. He will be big in this game. And then their other safety, Jonathan Baldwin, has had a phenomenal year as well. But those are the guys kind of know on defense when Boise State has the ball. When UNLV has the ball, it starts with quarterback Hajj-Malik Williams, dual threat. He did not get to start until week 4 or 5, whenever Matt Saluka decided he was leaving the school. And we said it at that time, and I think it's bared to bear it out. It came to fruition that was a positive thing for UNLV. Hajj-Malik Williams, in my opinion, much better quarterback than Matt Saluka. Maybe not quite as good running the ball. He's pretty damn close, but passing the ball way better than Matt Saluka.
He took over in week 4 during the Fresno State game. It was after the Kansas game that he left.
And he's a dual threat. Does it with his arm and his legs. When he's passing the ball, top target. One of the best receivers in college football. Ricky White III. He's easily the best receiver in this game. Top weapon for the UNLV Rebels. And then they have a running back. They have Jaden Jet Thomas. And Thomas has really come on strong here the last 3 weeks or so. He's been, cranking out 100-yard games. And so for me, it's just going to be interesting to see, having watched that first game, seeing how dominant the pass rush for Boise State was, to see what adjustments UNLV makes, what adjustments UNLV makes on defense, not just for Ashton Jeanty. I think, I don't know their game plan is going to change much for them, but with Matt Lauder. Matt Lauder kind of ate them up in the red zone in game 1. So just be interesting to kind of see how this game plays out. I expect a phenomenal game. I have no doubt that both teams understand and know whoever wins this game is making the college football playoff. The odds makers have Boise State as a 4-point favorite with an over-under of 58.5. I don't think they got too close to that over-under in the previous game. I want to say it was like 20 something to like the teens. 53. Is that right? What was this?
It was 29-24.
There we 50. Go. But I mean, I expect a phenomenal game. If I could only pick one game of these 5 championships, this is the one I'm going to watch. Just because I think it's going to be a great game, and again, the winner is going to go to the college football playoff. Personally, I hope Boise State wins. I love UNLV. I'd love to see them in the playoff. But as a proponent of the G5, Boise State wins, they're going to get a bye. UNLV wins, they're not going to get a bye. And so I would like to see UNLV win. Boise State win, get that bye, and make it to the quarterfinals.
I have a question. I haven't been paying too close attention to the whole bowl, like all of the teams. I've just been paying attention to the G5. But let's say UNLV beats Boise State, but Boise State is ranked ahead of UNLV. Does Boise State?
Well, then Boise State. No, you have to be a conference champion. Okay. And so it's the 5 highest rated conference champions. So UNLV would still get it, even if Boise State's ranked higher. For Boise State I mean, there's just no way for Boise State to make it if they lose, in my opinion, because they're only ranked 10th. And the top, the top ranked teams after you subtract the 5 automatics would be the ones to make it. And I don't. Boise State's not going to stay 10. They're probably going to fall to like 16 or 17 if they lose. Would be my guess. And so this is a playoff game, right? That's what this is. This is a win and make the playoffs.
I could see them like losing, and then if like Clemson's able to win against SMU, like that could create that'd be bad though. If you want Boise to still get in, SMU has to win that game. That's why it has to happen. It's not going to. I mean, I still don't think Boise gets in, but Clemson cannot absolutely not win the ACC. That they'd be a bid stealer, is what I'd call them, if they win the ACC. Because SMU still might get in even with losing the game, and so you'd only want one ACC team to get in, and that right now you say that's SMU, so you'd want SMU to win. But again, I don't see 2 G5s getting in. Tulane I thought was the best shot if they could have stayed undefeated and not undefeated, but stayed undefeated in conference play and won out these last 2 games, but that didn't happen. So yeah. Great game. Boise State, UNLV, Friday night, 8 p.m. Tune in. All right. That does it. Those are our conference previews. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Come back and join us next week as we discuss what happened in all of the G5 Conference Championship games. And always bring you up to date on the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. If you're watching us on X, please give us a retweet, a like, and a follow. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe, leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Again, we're only like 6 away on YouTube for subscribers to being at 500. Go out there and sub to that. We would appreciate it. And thank you all for your support. Until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.